Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an incredible story like this one. I was celebrating my 62nd birthday with my family at a cozy Italian restaurant when something strange happened. It was supposed to be a night of joy, a moment to reflect on how far I had come in life. But what I didn't know was that this night would change everything. My name is Evelyn Baker. And that night, my life was saved by a note slipped quietly onto my table by a waitress. It read, "Don't drink that. You're in danger." Trust me, my heart stopped. I froze. My first instinct was disbelief. But then I saw Hajada, the waitress. Her eyes were filled with urgent fear. I immediately swapped my wine glass with my daughter-in-law, Lisa's, without anyone noticing. What happened next changed the course of my life forever. This is my story of survival, deception, and betrayal. It was a Friday night when my son, Lucas, took me out for dinner at Bella's Trattoria, an intimate spot near our home in Asheville, North Carolina. I loved it there, and Lucas knew it. His smile that evening was warm and filled with affection. We were sitting at a corner table, the restaurant buzzing with energy, candles flickering on every table. We'd ordered a bottle of a bold, red wine, my favorite, and started chatting as I nibbled on my beloved eggplant parmesan. The conversation was light-hearted, filled with updates about work, family, and life. But something felt off. I couldn't quite place it at first. Lisa, my daughter-in-law, was acting different. She'd been quieter than usual, fiddling with her phone under the table, glancing at it nervously. When I caught her eye, she smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Her smile always had an edge to it that I couldn't ignore. As we toasted to my birthday, she seemed distracted, almost detached. Just as I was about to take a sip of my wine, the waitress Jada came by. She leaned in, as if to wipe the table, but in that motion, she slid a small folded note next to my plate. Her gaze locked onto mine with an intensity I couldn't ignore. She turned and left swiftly, disappearing into the crowd. I unfolded the note under the table, trying to stay calm. "Don't drink that. You're in danger. Trust me." My mind raced. What was going on? I glanced at the wine in front of me. I had been looking forward to it, but now it seemed ominous. I could barely breathe. I excused myself, claiming I needed to visit the restroom. In the quiet, sterile bathroom, I read the note again, hoping it might change. But no. The words remained the same. "Don't drink that." Was it a prank? A mistake? No. Something was wrong. When I returned to the table, I decided to act. I looked at Lucas, who was chatting happily about his new promotion, oblivious to my inner turmoil. Lisa, though her eyes kept darting between me and my glass. The tension was palpable. At the right moment, I swapped my glass with Lisa's. I couldn't explain why I did it. Something inside me screamed that it was the right choice. We clinked our glasses, and moments later, we all took a sip. Nothing felt different at first, but within 5 minutes everything changed. Lisa's face went from calm to pale in an instant. She pressed a hand to her stomach, her expression shifting to confusion. "I don't feel right," she murmured. Sweat broke out on her forehead as she trembled violently. Her hands shook uncontrollably. I kept my composure, but inside, panic exploded. "Lucas, call 911. I shouted. The restaurant went silent as everyone realized something serious was happening. I stayed seated, my mind racing. Was it the wine? Was I the target? The ambulance ride to the hospital was a blur. Lisa lost consciousness, her body racked with violent spasms. Lucas held my hand tightly, but I couldn't help but wonder. Had I been the intended victim? In the EA, doctors rushed Lisa away for treatment, but I couldn't stop thinking about the note. Everything pointed to someone trying to harm me, someone in my own family. The moments leading up to the chaos felt like a cruel game, and I had been its unwitting participant. A few hours later, a doctor confirmed my worst fear. Lisa had been poisoned with a potent heart medication, a drug that could be fatal if overdosed. Dioxin. My stomach churned. Someone poisoned her? I asked, barely able to speak. The doctor confirmed it. We'll need to notify the authorities. Lucas was devastated, unable to comprehend what had happened. As I sat next to him, I realized something even more chilling. The note wasn't just a warning, it was my lifeline. Someone out there knew what was happening. Someone who cared enough to intervene. But who? And why? The next few days felt like a nightmare. Lisa was in the ICU, her condition critical but stable. I could barely bring myself to visit her. How could I face the woman who almost killed me? How could Lucas even look at her? The police launched an investigation, and I was asked to come down for questioning. There, a seasoned Detective Harper revealed a shocking truth. Lisa had been researching assisted living facilities and even methods to speed up cognitive decline in elderly patients. My heart sank. This wasn't the first time Lisa had done something like this. Jada, the waitress, had been quietly watching us that night. She knew Lisa's dark secret. Her grandmother had died under suspicious circumstances at a care facility where Lisa had worked years earlier. Jada had suspected something was wrong and had been following Lisa ever since. When she saw me, she knew. Jada saved my life. As the investigation unfolded, the truth came out. Lisa had been slowly poisoning me for months, making me believe I was losing my mind. She convinced Lucas that I was suffering from dementia and even pressured him to take power attorney over my affairs. She had been planning to have me committed to an assisted living facility, where she could control my money and my life. But she underestimated one thing. I wasn't as fragile as she thought. The police arrested Lisa, and her trial was a spectacle. The evidence against her was overwhelming. She had been methodical, calculating, and cruel. But through it all, I found something I never expected. Strength. With the support of Jada and Lucas, I began to rebuild my life. I moved to a new home, away from the shadows of betrayal. I started doing the things I loved: gardening, painting, yoga. I was free, but the scars of betrayal lingered. It wasn't just the poisoning that broke me. It was the realization that someone so close to me had been willing to destroy everything I held dear for her own gain. 6 months later, I met Jada for coffee, the woman who had saved me. She had since become a nursing student, inspired to help the elderly after seeing what Lisa had done. "I want to protect others," she said, "so no one else has to go through what you did." And with that, I knew this was my second chance at life. Not just to survive, but to help others too. And in doing so, I found peace once more. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my story, please leave a comment and don't forget to hit that like button. Share this video with anyone you know who might need to hear this story. I'll be sharing more incredible stories of survival, betrayal, and justice soon. Stay tuned. Subscribe for more life-changing stories.